Welcome back. Because this is part 2 of me posting my Mustang up for sale on Facebook Marketplace. But this time we went the opposite direction. Okay, so the first video I posted this, I listed it for $125,000, which is absurd. That is probably like $75,000 to $100,000, way too expensive for that car. Anyways, we'll get into the value of the car maybe in another video. However, I made another post. So took down the other post and I made a new post. But this one is the absolute opposite contrast of the old one. So this one, I listed the car for only $9,500, right? I wanted to make sure that it went less than $10,000. Meh, right? But then I got some things wrong on the post, right? So I said it's a 1965 Ford Mustang
Cobra Coupe.
Right? And let me go ahead and read out to you the description I put. And when you read this looking at a car, it's gotta have like a ton of problems. It's a bunch of red flags. Not only is the issues themselves red flags of buying a project car or anything, the way I described it should have probably set off even more red flags in your head. Wondering that if this is the person that installed them and you can't even really truly describe them the way they probably would to a normal automotive-minded person. So here we go. I'm giving up on my project car. It's been the biggest pain I have ever thought I could handle. It's a 1965 Mustang Coupe with a
Modular big block.
The issues. The rear axle whines if you get it up to speed, but also I hear a periodic clunk while turning. The drive shaft U-joint doesn't look right. It fits very loosely at the connection thing. So I even included in these pictures some of the problems, right? So back on a track day, I made a terrible downshift and it destroyed the U-joint. And that picture's in here. Kind of a, like a proof kind of a deal, right? There's an exhaust leak somewhere. I heard a deep light tap as the engine revs, so I took off the top of the motor cover and I lost all the hardware to put it back. What? So this was supposed to be like, oh, the motor's knocking, right? And then someone takes apart the top of the engine and you lose all the hardware to put the top of the engine back together. There's a picture of when I had a timing cover leak. Well, to do timing cover, I took off the cam covers and you can just see the whole top of the engine, the cams, the valve train and things like that exposed. So it looks like I opened up the engine, lost all the hardware and just stopped. So that's... Anyway, let's continue. We're only halfway through the list. I installed a big stop kit, but they didn't work well, and I found the tube had a different connection, and the brake tank needs more water. So you mean to tell me this person put water in their brake lines instead of brake fluid? What? So that's like one of like I don't know. Maybe people saw through it. Maybe it was too bad, too obvious. The old steering bar assembly, steering rack, was leaking fluid, so I got a new one. And there's like a picture of it, of a new one on cardboard, but I don't know if it's like installed, it's not installed. I was hoping to see if I could get some of these questions from some of these items, but no one really cared. I really think they just saw the first two photos, which were my catfish photos of the car put together, and it was out and about, and like in a parking lot, out in a field. They didn't see the dumpster fire photos behind those. They just stopped there. Okay, The back spring and shock isn't straight. Oh yeah. There's a picture in there of when I snapped my coilover in half. The gearbox bolt-up adapter, bell housing, is cracked when I dropped it out of the engine. Need $9,500 or best offer. If you want more info on the car, check out Garage Built Coyote social media or GRG Built Coyote social media. Now, the first thing I would have thought is, oh, if there isn't enough information here, maybe I can go check out the social media. But then you would see the post that I made about, hey, here comes another joke, and perhaps there were a handful of people who actually did that. They saw that it was a joke and they just didn't even bother to respond or waste time. Anyways, so let's go ahead and get into some of the conversations we had with these people. All right, so these are kind of go ahead and knock out. There's about 3 of these conversations where they kind of recognized either me or the post or something like that. First one, hey, I see your wife saw your original post. Yeah, something like that. Hey Ryan, this looks like a fun ride. Oh yeah. And I remember seeing that name and that profile picture. He was a part of the previous conversations. Here's another one where, is this still available? I was like, you get a special price. I got a thumbs up from him. He was from also the previous conversations. So, yeah. Now, I only got one of these kind of conversations, which is the tech talk. And if anybody, wants to talk to me about how I did any of the things that I did to my car, where I bought my parts, how did I get something to fit, how did I make a thing so that it did fit, you're more than welcome to message me, talk in the comment section, Instagram DM, message me on Facebook, private messengers, things like that. I don't get too many questions, or I don't get bombarded with tech talks and stuff like that, and definitely take it with a grain of salt. I haven't built a ton of cars, and this is just a hobby for me. Well, some people, they like what I did, and they'll ask me questions of how I do it, so just don't feel scared to ask me any questions, and I'll give you the answer I got, but you should probably take the answers that I give you and do a little investigation on that answer. That's probably the important thing, and also with almost anyone else. So just try to look it up, look at it all angles, and it just protects you whenever you ask for some of these questions when you go to build your car or work on your car. So here's a gentleman right here. He says, hey, sorry to be off topic. I don't mean to waste your time, but I have a 66 and I want to get bigger wheels like that. Mind telling me what all you did there, what size wheels those are, and things like that? I was like, hey, not a problem. They're actually a factory offset, but with the wide body, it helps me to get that factory back spacing, but make the wheels wider, and that gives you the deep dish look. So basically all I explained was, and that's pretty much what I have for the car, I have a 4-inch back spacing on the front and the rear wheels, except for the rear wheels are 12-inch wide wheels because the flares are a little bit wider, so you can fit a little bit wider rear tire. The fronts are 11-inch wide, and I know you can go with a deeper back spacing. So like fronts, the old wheels were like 4 1/4, the rears were like 4.5-inch back spacing, and that was comfortable. That I actually had a little bit more room to go even deeper than that on the back spacing for the widest wheel that you could possibly fit. However, for the looks, for the wheels to fit the body kit and all that jazz, the way I have the back spacing on the car now, I love it. But for the most part, yeah. Then we kind of have a conversation continuing on about, where does he find the body panels? Where does he find, can he order from CJ Pony Parts, which is, I've ordered my parts from there as well. I also showed him the Meyer Racing website, and we just kind of went into some of the talks, and then he kind of explained what he was doing on his build, which was a cool conversation to have. So, yeah. All right, let's get into these favorites of mine. Everyone and their mom is asking me if this listing is real. Take $6,500. Only if that's the down payment for the $9,500. Is this item still available? It's as available as a forgotten Cracker Barrel biscuit that's been left out on the counter. Would you be interested in a trade for a 2011 Caprice PPV with a 6-liter? I will say I do like those cars. That would be actually a pretty cool car. However, for a trade, no, not at all. However, and that guy, he was actually on the previous round of the listing question, stuff. Now, here is a conversation that I am going to put up on the screen, but if all of a sudden it cuts and you don't see the conversation, it's because of the contents, and I don't know if it's going to be a violation or not. So here we go. You know what? I'm going to read the conversation before I post the thing. Hey boss, very interested. Consider firearm trade, baby cash. I've got an FN PS90 and a Ruger 1911. Can you do both in some cash? Both are brand new. So I responded to, that looks like Call of Duty stuff. Yeah, I think the guy laughed and he was like, okay, never mind. This is a bad thing to do. Trade for a spaceship? Only if it's got AC. Oh, it's got AC. Nice rocket, but it's a beater with a heater. We'll make it to the moon. That's about it. Wouldn't trust it to go further. Held together with duct tape and zip ties. And you know what's funny is I think that was something I wrote back a while back. I listed the replica space shuttle that is parked in Clear Lake, Texas, or down in South Houston, and at the NASA place. That looks like something from that listing. Is it still available? Not sure you're ready for it. The response was, that's cute. This, I would like to own one of these. These are pretty cool looking trucks. I love these Broncos and this generation because they want to trade, and then he kind of shows a nice, looks like early 80s Bronco. Big old meaty tires. Hi, is this still available? I was like, if I had $1 every time someone sent me this message. So the guy laughed, going, sorry, brother, I got tied up. Do you happen to have many more pictures? And who did the work on the car? So I just sent him a picture of the car when I first bought it. The conversation ended at that point. Konnichiwa. I don't know. I'm not going to even try this. I'm not even going to try. However, it looks like a Oriental based language that was sent through Google Translator and sent to me. So yeah. I have $4 and a bag of belly button lint. I have a question. Why have you collected on purpose a bag of belly button lint? It's like I was building a lint dragon, and normal lint just won't cut it. I'm interested in this item. I was like, I don't think you're ready for this item. Shit. Are you actually selling it? Isn't that the point of Marketplace? Or do they let anyone post on this platform? Then the guy left the conversation, which then kind of sparked up to the events that happened afterward. I'll explain after I kind of go through these last few conversations, but yeah, he didn't. I don't think I liked the response. Hey, is this still available?
I was thinking about setting it on fire.
He was like, what? So, all right, back to, that guy. I have a pretty good idea that guy reported the ad, and the ad sometime early this morning had gotten deleted. But savvy, Ryan here went and made sure I got these screenshots for you guys so that I can make sure I made this video. Because I had a pretty good idea doing this a second round, making it cheaper, so then you'd probably have more people far more interested in it. It might get a little salty from people thinking you're wasting time, which I kind of am, and it being a fake ad, which it was. So insurance, right? I just wanted to make sure I kind of put out the video with some decent content, but it barely lasted 24 hours. So, all right, so that's going to basically conclude the video. I think I've tormented and wasted enough time on the Facebook Marketplace in the greater Houston area, and I think I will go ahead and call it quits for the fake ads, at least for now and for a while. However, pretty soon we're going to be ordering some parts for the Mustang. Definitely need to fix that exhaust leak. That's like top priority. That's on my mind right now. And then I'd also like to get the car out for a little bit of testing and tuning to see if we can't dial in the brake proportioning valve so that I can get that maximum braking power out of the car, because right now it's just kind of set as I took it out of the box and put it onto the car, because it does stop very well. It's definitely got plenty of front bias to it. However, we might be able to adjust it to get a little bit more rearward braking, kind of get into there, and it might help because we have a lot of tire in the back as well as the front. So why not take advantage of, available traction, making the rears work a little bit more. However, you want to make sure that they're not getting overbearing. You definitely don't want them locking up ever, pretty much. And other than that, while we're out there doing the testing for the braking and tuning for that, I might go ahead and see about doing a 60 to 130 and maybe a quarter mile time or something like that. I don't know, something. We'll do something just to have like some updated numbers. Not that they are absolutely must-have kind of stuff, but I'm sure there are probably a few of you who are curious at if I ever put this thing in a straight line situation, how would it perform? I'm thinking it's not going to be the greatest, but I think it'll do all right. So, all right, I appreciate you watching. Go ahead and hit the like, give me a comment, and if you're new here, why don't you think about subscribing? And I will see you guys later.